Hey everyone, for today's devotional thought, we're actually going to read quite a bit. We're going to go through all of Isaiah chapter 55. It is so rich and full of all sorts of stuff, and I'll only pull apart a couple little things to think about, but we could talk for days just about all the things that are alluded to here, the things that it's trying to build up and talk about. So let's dive in. Come, everyone that thirsts, come to the waters. And he who has no money, come, buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money on that which isn't bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligently to me, and eat what is good. Delight yourselves in rich food, incline your ear and come to me. Hear that your soul may live. And I will make you an everlasting covenant, my steadfast and sure love for David. Behold, I made him a witness to the peoples, a leader and commander of peoples. Behold, you will call a nation that you do not know. A nation that you do not know will run to you, because of the Lord your God and the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Seek the Lord while he may be found, and call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his own way, and the unrighteous man his own thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, that he may have compassion on him, and to our God, for he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. For as the rain and snow come down from heaven, and do not return there, but water the earth, making it bring forth and sprout, and giving seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so my words that go out from my mouth will not return to me empty, but it will accomplish all which I purpose it, and it shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it. For you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall break forth into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead of the thorn will come up the cypress, instead of the briar will come up the myrtle. It shall make a name for the Lord, an everlasting sign that will not be cut off. And we could keep going. If you go before and after this chapter, there's just so much beautiful imagery here. But man, these first few lines, come if you're thirsty, come if you're hungry, and buy and eat without price. We look and it gives us some advice later on saying, why are you spending money on things you don't need? Why are you pursuing something that doesn't give you rest? And we find ourselves so often caught up in this cycle where we feel like we need something, we feel like we want something that's not really something we need, but we stress and we burden ourselves until we can find enough money to finally get that thing that's not necessary. And then what do? We immediately go back and find something else that we want. And it's a cycle that we keep on getting caught up in, and God is reaching out saying, hey guys, knock it off. You're not doing yourself any good. You're not doing me any good. You're not doing your neighbor any good. You're just caught up in this cycle, and you will have more if you're buying food. If you're hungry, focus on those things. It keeps going on in verse 6, seek the Lord while he is near. And in verse 7, let the wicked forsake his own way. So many times we feel like we're doing what's best for us. I've heard it said that everything that every person has ever done has made perfect sense in their own mind. And that just lets you know how crazy people are. But here we see that sometimes your way isn't the best way. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. There are times when the way we think and the way we see the world is so messed up. And all we need to do is just lay that down and go seek after God, because he is near and he is close to us. We keep going. It says, as the rains and snow come down from heaven. It talks about how water comes down from the heavens, and to the ancient people's mind, that's exactly where it came from. God opens a little door and water falls from the blue thing up top because it must be full of water. And it says it doesn't return, but it does what it was sent for. It brings life. And just like the rain, God's words don't return until it's accomplished its purpose. So as you're reading, it's cueing you in. Listen to what's being said. Have an idea. Be aware of what God is trying to do in you. And then this last little bit is, and when you do that, you will be led forth in peace. The mountains and hills before you will break forth into singing. The trees of the field will clap their hands. All these things that were intimidating or were something that you had to cut down to make room for something, they will be encouraging you. And instead of thorns, beautiful trees will come up. And instead of briars, we'll have more trees. It'll make a name for the Lord, an everlasting sign that won't be cut off. So often, the obstacles that we perceive are really blessings. And here we're being called again to that instead of seeing the mountains as something hard you have to climb, or trees around you as something and obstacles in your way to get from point A to point B, you realize it's all beautiful and it's all a part of a plan. I hope you're encouraged by this chapter. Isaiah 55 is so rich, and there's so many things that we could talk about. But for now, I want to leave you with those thoughts. Meditate on them. Take some time today. Read back through it. See what sticks out to you. And until then, we'll see you next time. We're so excited that we're starting to be able to see one another again. If you want to subscribe to our channel, you can subscribe by clicking a button that says so. And you can click a bell icon to let you know whenever we put up a new video. But until then, we'll see you next time.